Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. I'm seeing shimmers in this long-lasting dream. A made-up image, bringing back memories. It's I've been wishing like most of my.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SFR. This is Season 4, Round 12, coming to you live from Brazil at the Brazilian Grand Prix at the world-famous Interlagos circuit. My name is Kieran Wright 92, and I am joined, after a couple of weeks away, doing his own thing, but he is back, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined by T.S. Swayze. Good evening, Swayze. Indeed, it is fantastic track here in Brazil, in Laos, track that everyone knows and loves. Is everything. It is indeed coming to everything is that's what's happening when I try Why? Why you break? Why you break? We have Carbon Game TV in chat. Hola, hola, and hola again. Indeed. So everything seems to have died at my end. Can't hear Swayze. Why can we not hear Swayze? Can't hear anything. What the hell is going on? Why is everything breaking? I just gave you the greatest intro I've probably ever given anyone, Swayze, and no one heard ya! Nobody's heard ya! Gosh sake. So everyone can hear me, but they can't hear Swayze. Why can't they hear Swayze? Because that should be playing through my speakers as well. Just want to make sure. Yeah, headset and speakers. So that should be playing properly. But things don't want to work. Saying that, is anything even working at my end? That's there, that's working, that's working, that's working. So that end works. Everything at my end's working, but we can't hear Swayze. It's annoying, and it's going to annoy me, it's going to upset me. And I'm going to be really upset, chap. Yeah, no, I can hear you perfectly fine, mate. Just getting technical issues, as always, whenever I try and do anything intelligent. It doesn't like to do it. Let's... You can indeed, mate. You can indeed say that. No one heard that other than me. So you are all good in the hood. Right, let me fucking take that off. Do that. So that's now up at that end. Still, way to start a stream. Cam, don't, mate. Don't. It's not been the best start to the stream. I do apologise, guys. But we still cannot hear Swayze. Potentially. Try it that way and see if it does anything. Saying that none of my sound is coming through at my end. Haha, here we go. But I now have audio at my end. Now we can hear things. Here we go. We should hopefully get Swayze back very, very shortly. And when we get Swayze back, we should be all fine and dandy. Let me go and quickly just shoot Swayze over. A little invite. Whee! All the way down to the bottom of the friends list. Keep going down. Haven't got to Swayze yet. Haven't got to Swayze yet. Haven't got to Swayze yet. Come on. Let's get to Swayze. Bosh. Hopefully, everyone heard that notification, because if you heard that notification, then we should be good. I now have audio from my Xbox in my ears, so hopefully I can now say that after a couple of weeks away, we are joined by the one, the only, TES Swayze. Good evening, Swayze.
Oh, damn it.
Hopefully, everyone heard that.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hopefully, everyone heard that. All being well, I'm going to have a load of people in chat going, yeah, we heard Swayze. Yay, Swayze's back. Woo, Swayze, yay. And I'm going to be really happy, and I'm not going to want to cry. If someone comes in chat and says they can't hear Swayze, I'm going to cry. Vapid says I can hear Swayze. Yes, we are good. We have fixed it.
The expletives can be done.
So, how have you been, Swayze, mate? It's been a while since the wonderful people of SFR heard your wonderful voice. How have you been, buddy?
Yes, I have been away with a few medical issues, but as I said earlier, but was unfortunately dubbed out by modern technology, you know. It's great to be back, and it's a great track to come back to Brazil. Variable weather, loads of overtaking opportunities around this track, and you know, I've missed SFR, to be honest. I know there's great racing on display here all the time, and how close the championship's been between some of the top 5 drivers here. You know, it's been a shame that I missed some of it, but you know, it's glad that you're here now and that you've picked up the slack while Will is now on the grid. Hi, Will.
To the follower, I believe so, Jamie. I'm pretty sure the follower alert worked. In fact, let me quickly check something at my end. If I replay,
and I should be on host
that one.
It's Friday then. It's Saturday,
Sunday. What?
It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What?
That should have worked. Hopefully, everyone's heard that, and if we have, then we are all good. Yeah, that's what Jamie and I spent about 5 hours earlier today working out what we wanted to do, and hopefully it was all good. Yes, it worked on the stream. Let's go. So, yeah, last week, Russia. It was a very, very interesting race. That was won by Constant Ryan. A man in the last 2 races who has had a first and a second place now. So, I mean, logic would only dictate that he's going to finish 3rd tonight, Swayze.
He's been up there all season, you know. I've seen him put in some amazing drives this season.
It's
So
Friday then.
I never would bet
Saturday,
against him.
Sunday. What? It's Friday then.
That is for sure.
Saturday,
But I mean,
Sunday. What?
you did say to me earlier we're supposed to have 14 drivers, so just wait to see who else turns up. I mean, there are some threats out there in the field tonight. Vapid's always going to be a threat, so is Cam and Leclerc. So, you know, it's a track that I know drivers out there like because it's a track that you can attack. So I think when drivers end up on tracks that they like, it tends to bring out just that little bit more confidence in them, and it just encourages better racing.
It does indeed. So yeah, we did say we should hopefully, all being well, have 14 drivers this evening. Constant Ryan will be one of those 14 drivers. He's going to be a little bit delayed coming in though.
We see.
Yep, Leclerc is just confirmed. Constant Ryan is running late, but he should hopefully be with us for the actual main race itself. There it is, Noodle with the Prime subscription as well. Thank you for that Prime sub, Noodle, and for the follow as well, buddy. That is, of course, Dom the Noodle, one of the drivers you're going to see out on track. We have now got new alerts for follows and subscriptions, guys. So we're trying to boost the subscriptions as much as we can, guys. So if you have got Amazon Prime, feel free to use it on SFR.
I'm gonna say, I've got the stream up, got it on host, and it is looking jive.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to see as well. So we're loading into the qualifying session now. It is going to be a short 18-minute quali, and then we will have our 50% race as usual.
Short qualifying due to the low numbers.
It is indeed.
Because obviously normally we would run full, yeah. It is a shame, because obviously with the full it can produce some different strategies.
Indeed. Had to take him for a spin for the guys in the party. Yeah, I haven't set up that Spinella one yet, Noodle. I'll set that up probably after the stream in preparation for next week. But we will hopefully next week have a Spinella sound alert in the stream as well. So yeah, look forward to that. Lots and lots of things coming in the world of SFR. So get excited. And there may or may not be a little announcement coming later on. Vapid Coot is very, very happy in the chat or in the Discord. I'm thinking, Sways, that Vapid Coot may have got what he wanted in the race. Because Vapid Coot was one of the people that wanted rain. The fact that he is currently in that Discord going absolutely bonkers. Leclerc has confirmed it. Wet start to the race.
Wet start to the race. Oh, it's going to be epic.
It's going to be wet, which means we may be joined by TES Big Will a little sooner than people think we're going to be. We may have a third commentator by the end of lap number 1. In fact, that's probably being a little bit too kind to Big Will. We're probably going to have Big Will join us in the party by the end of turn 1. Will, you know I love you, bro, but it had to be said.
It does. I mean, the question is, you know, when you took the driving gloves off the shelf, did you blow the dust off? Or we will find out. But
we will find out.
Everybody going out onto the track. I assume with a wet start to the race, then we're looking like every car will attempt to fly and lap on soft at some point.
I would have thought so. Semper's in chat saying it is only a wet start, so there's no guarantee it is going to be wet all race. We weren't mentioning Big Will. Big Will is currently out on track on those medium tyres, along with Cam, Dom the Noodle, and Alpaca Carbon. All 4 of the guys currently out on those medium tyres, getting ready to set those lap times. Let's get the the lap data up as well, top right hand corner of the screen. Hopefully I'll be able...
It will be Cam to set the initial lap.
It will be. Let's have a watch of Cam as he comes up through the long sweeping center S's to start this lap here at Interlagos. Yes.
Quite easy to pick up corner cut penalties there.
It is very, very easy to pick up those corner cutting penalties. You have to be very, very careful of that line that you do take. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Trying to think, it's probably going to be for Alpaca Carbon. Maybe had a little bit of an incident. He was coming around the last couple of corners, approaching that DRS zone. Probably just getting himself ready, moving himself into that rich or max fuel mode to get the most out of that car that he possibly can. So I will say, Sways, it's obviously been a couple of weeks since you were last here. Are there any people on this grid that you're seeing at the moment that you don't recognise?
Obviously, we have, you told me about the new driver that we've got starting tonight, Tom Gorin. Obviously, it's a driver that I've never seen before. I don't know whether you've seen them race before.
I have not seen Tom race, and I know that we have got Alpaca Carbon also racing this evening with a view to potentially being a full-time driver. As Big Will comes in.
8.043 from Cam there on the medium tyres.
Indeed. Well, I think Will was just having a little bit of a look at the exit of turn 1, just to see where he was going to pitch up that picnic table. He did run a little bit wide there after he'd set that lap time, maybe forgetting that he did need to hit his brake. But WS Cam is currently setting the pace of 108 dead so far. Dom the Noodle with a 1090 and Big Will 1095.
Vapid Coot has just gone purple in sector 2 and is just climbing up the hill now towards finish off his lap. Looks like it's going to be a good lap from Vapid.
So look, Vapiku hugging that inside line, get the fastest possible run up to the line of 107.825. Currently puts him top of those timing screens.
Great lap on the medium tyres.
Yeah, that was a very, very good lap. TS Leclerc in the chat saying he was having a little excursion. Big Will was indeed having a little excursion. I did say, Jamie, he was looking for somewhere to pitch up his picnic table for later on in the race, when he's decided he doesn't want to race anymore and he wants to have a little bit to eat.
It's Saturday, Sunday,
Sunday
what?
what?
It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday, what?
That's really gonna get me. It's gonna kill me every single time someone follows the channel. So please do I do apologise for my horrific singing that you will end up hearing quite a lot during these streams now, ladies and gents. All I'm saying is blame. I'm just gonna say blame TS Leclerc. Blame Leclerc. He was the one that wanted the sound alerts. Alpaca Carbon comes in 108.756, puts himself P4. So Vapiku still the man at the top of those timing screens with a 107.825. Let's jump in and see Tom Goran. He is just starting a lap time.
Yes, he is. He's also on the softer of the tyres, so it could be a real challenge.
Even if I'm not on the podium environment. Yeah, I will do, Jamie.
Traffic just in front of him, though.
Indeed, traffic. That traffic is in the form of Kira, who is in the Ferrari. A driver who I believe made her debut in SFR about a month ago in Italy. I think it was the first time we saw Kira in SFR, driving in the Ferrari car for this season, partnering A. Jackson. So we'll see what sort of lap time Kira is able to set. We'll ride on board with her. She comes around the final corner now. Opens up that DRS on the run up to the line now. Kira is going to cross the line on those soft tyres, setting a... Oh, it was an invalid lap time, but it would have been a 109.3. So that would have been enough for P7. Unfortunately, it was invalidated to us.
As Tom Gorman just crossed the line behind her there on set of 107.8 on the softs, and just not enough to take Vapid on the mediums. I mean, that shows you how fast Vapid's lap was on those mediums.
Yeah, the fact that Vapid is still faster on those medium tyres compared to Tom Gorian just shows how fast of a driver Vapid Q actually is here in SFR. We've got Semper HD there, and of course the main man himself, TS Leclerc. Looks like it is going to potentially be, in fact, Don the Noodle looks to be on. No, he's dived into the pits, so we won't be seeing that. So let's go and have a look at Mr. Semper HD in the racing point. He is going to now start a lap time, start a flying lap here.
Kira is on her way up the hill now to cross the line, and this lap is valid.
Let's have a look. What sort of lap time is Kira going to set as she crosses the line with a 108.811, enough for P7.
A good lap time from Kira.
It is indeed a good lap time from Kira. Scary that she's only played this game for a few months, and I will openly admit she is faster than me. There's a reason why she's racing and I'm hiding in a commentary box.
And like you say, in such a short amount of time as well, you know, there's loads and loads of room for progression there.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely there. So we will see.
Leclerc is flying at the moment. I think he did purple sector 1.
So we will definitely keep an eye on Mr. T.S. Leclerc as he comes through to finish off his lap. But for now, we'll have a look at Semper HD. With that DRS open as he makes that run up to the line now, holds that inside line, 108.8. Puts him just above Kira into P7. Let's see what Mr. Leclerc is able to do coming around the final few corners now, coming up the hill here at this very famous Interlagos circuit in Brazil.
I've got to say, I've been on board with him all the way through this lap, majority of, and his use of track has been excellent.
108.040 for Leclerc there. Puts in P3.
That is not a bad time. There is, look at that, there's 0.003 between Leclerc and Cam.
There is indeed. Leclerc goes 0.003 of a second faster as Andrew Jackson has come in with a 107.963 to put himself up into P3. But Cam
Good time.
comes in with a 107.616, gets that second spot back on the front row of the grid. We are into the last 8.5 minutes.
Go out and he's now changed compounds and has set another pole lap on the softs.
He has indeed 107.2 there from Vapid Coot, moving over to the side of the track to allow Andrew Jackson through. Of course, A. Jackson is, of course, potentially on a lap. Let's see, we've got Kirby coming through Sector 1. A. Jackson is coming through Sector 2. Mr. Leclerc is popping into the pits, so it looks like A. Jackson is going to be the next car for us to have a look at. He is slower on his time though, so expect this to be an in-lap from A. Jackson. So we'll jump on and see what Kirby is up to. So I'm going to assume that Vapid Coot is also coming into the pits. Indeed, Vapid Coot is going to come into the pits. Cam is also going slowly, so Cam will be coming into the pits. So I'm going to assume that TM Kirby is going to be the next person to be setting a flying lap.
Yeah, I think he's on a personal best. So.
Let's have a look. DRS up.
No.
And no. Kirby has decided, bailed it. Didn't think they were going to improve. Didn't think it was going to improve, so it's popped into the pits, which means there's only one person out on track, and that is Alpaca Carbon. He's just about to start his hot lap, so we'll ride on board with Alpaca Carbon in the Alfa Romeo. A 108.756 is his best lap so far, currently sitting in 8th position. I did see a message from Semper to check Snapchat. I'm assuming that's going to be a weather report. It is going to be a weather report. So, thanks to the wonderful Semper HD, I have received a weather report for the race, and apparently we've got about 20 minutes of rain to start this race.
That's interesting, assuming that, of course, Co-Masters and Jeff are reliable.
It's very true.
Do we know what level, whether it's going to be full wet or
It looked like it was light rain from what he'd sent to me, so expect Inters to start the race. We'll see now, Alpaca Carbon, he is nearly a second up on his previous lap time. So we're looking at a net potentially P2, P3 here from Alpaca Carbon. Coming around the final corner now, is going to hug the inside wall as best as he can. Comes up to the line, a 107.709, 0.08 of a second faster than Kirby. Moves him up into P3.
That is so tight.
Yeah, if we look at it, the top 7 all separated by about 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, insane.
Very, very good driving here. We've got Christo on a hot lap now. So we'll go and have a watch of Christo, see what Christo can get up to. What sort of trouble can Christo get themselves into this week? Didn't have the best of races in Russia. Unfortunately, did have to retire the car after a little incident. Hopefully, Christo will be back up to full form here.
Oh! Dom the Noodle hitting the wall there.
Oh, Noodle's had a moment. Dom the Noodle has had a moment, and he has got end plate damage. So we'll have to move out of the way of Christo. Constant Ryan is in the building. Better late than never. We have got Mr. Constant Ryan in the house. And he is leaving himself about 5 minutes to set himself a lap time. Christo going very, very wide there on the exit of that penultimate corner on the run up to the line. Now Christo going to cross the line. 109.327 puts him up into P11. We're going to see a few of these drivers now. Where is Mr. Big Will? Potentially could be Vapid Coot though, who is going to be slightly further ahead. Let's have a look. Is Vapid Coot ahead? He is. Vapid Coot is ahead.
Yeah, he's pushing hard as well.
Got purple in sector 2.
He's lifted then.
He's lifted. He has decided that he doesn't want it. Oh, where is he? Mr. Big Will up into P8, 108.391.
Ryan going out onto track.
Indeed, he is the man who's had 2 very, very good races. He's had a second and a first in the last 2 races. 2 podiums. Had multiple chats with Mr. Constant Ryan over the last couple of weeks, looking to try and make it a trifecta of Sunday what? I can't help myself. I've got to do it. It's Saturday, Sunday what? Oh, I love that follow alert. Damn it, Leclerc. Why did you make me do that?
Cam.
The sound alert.
106.9.
WRS Cam, what a lap. What a lap.
That was incredible.
That is a very, very fast lap there by that Mercedes driver. Let's jump in to see Mr. Constant Ryan. In fact, I believe we got Big Will, I'm assuming he's going to come into the pits. He does, so Constant Ryan is going to be the man to watch. Does invalidate that first lap time, so I wonder whether he did have a little bit of traffic potentially, so this will be the lap that he properly goes for. We'll ride on board with Constant Ryan for the entirety of this lap. I'm sure if someone puts in other lap times, Swayze will be the man to tell us when they happen. Very, very confident line there through Sector 1 there for Constant Ryan, moving up through Sector 2 now. The sweeping part.
Just goes into third.
There we go, TS Leclerc up into P3, a 107.349 by the AlphaTauri driver there. The main man himself inside SFR. One of the two co-owners, of course, of this wonderful, wonderful racing league that you are all here to watch, race and do their thing this evening. Constant Ryan goes purple in Sector 2. This could be a very, very fast lap for this Williams driver. We're going to watch now as Constant Ryan comes up, holds that inside line as best as he can on the run up to the line, pretty much hugging the wall. He goes pole! He was so close to that pit wall, but it's worked because that is a net pole time, a 106.728.
Turns up late, one lap, does that. It was like millimeters away from that wall.
I think quite a few people in chat watching that on board may have to go and check their underwear. I mean, if I'm in that car and I'm Constant Ryan, I'm definitely popping to the loo and checking mine because, geez, that was a little bit too close to comfort. A little bit too close for comfort, sorry, in towards that wall. Andrew Jackson did slightly improve into P5, 107.6.
Started a hot lap.
So what is Noodle? Noodle has started a hard. Here we go. Goes past the now in-lapping car of A. Jackson as we move into the final minute here of this short qualifying session at Brazil. This is, of course, round 12 of Season 4 of SFR. Jamie's in chat. That is a mega lap from Shane. It is indeed a mega lap from Shane. Comes in with the last 5 minutes of the qualifying session. Cam, poor Cam, he's had pole position stolen from him again. Last week it was Vapid Coot, this week it's Constant Ryan. Oh Cam, you've really not had the best of weeks, have you, buddy? That's 2 weeks in a row you've had pole taken away from you in the dying second. Is Dom the Noodle going to cross the line? Dom the Noodle crosses the line with a second to go. Does improve his time and doesn't improve his position though. He remains in P6 with a 107.655, only 2 thousandths of a second slower than A. Jackson in 5th. But he will have one more bite of the cherry if he so wishes to use it. Cut it very, very fine to cross the line in time to set that lap. But we will see what Dom the Noodle is able to do. Kirby has finished. Big Will is ever so slightly slower on his best lap so far. We'll see whether Big Will comes up to cross the line here. He's got that DRS open. He's going to try and hug the inside. In fact, decides not to hug the inside. Isn't able to improve on his time. Big Will stay P10.
Alpaca Carbon to come over the line next. He does improve up to 5th.
Up to 5th, 107.373. Very, very good lap there by Alpaca Carbon. Let's see what Semper jumps into the pits. Semper has done all he thinks he can. Doesn't think he's going to improve his time, so the last person to check is going to be Dom the Noodle. He has now slowed down.
There's invalid.
Yeah, invalidated his lap
Dom's
time.
involved.
So we'll just expect to
think
see
that
him
is
coming.
it.
That is going to be it. Dom the Noodle retires from the session. So we'll watch Dom the Noodle just ever so slightly, ever so slowly labour himself around. So we will wait for everyone to get into their pit boxes, and then that will bring us to the end. Donamar wins. Says Vapid bottled the pole. Well, I wouldn't say that. But this is your grid, ladies and gents. Constant Ryan, top of the timing screens. The man who comes in with 5 minutes left of the session. Comes in, sets one flying lap, goes pole.
That's insane, that was.
WRS Cam will join him on the first row of the grid. Vapid Coot and T.S. Leclerc on row 2. Alpaca Carbon and Tom Gorian on debut. The two debutants on row 3. A Jackson and Dom the Noodle on row 4. It is the two Renaults on row 5, Kirby and Big Will, Semper and Kira on row 6, and Christo, the lone soul car, on row number 7 in 13th place. Mr. Leclerc has informed us we have got an 8:36 start, so we've got a few minutes. If you want to go and get yourselves a drink, ladies and gents, go and get yourself a drink.
Yeah.
Pop to the toilet. You've got a few minutes. We're not going to be we're not going to be getting underway too quickly, so you've got a few minutes to go and compose yourselves before we get into the race. So what we'll do, guys, is whilst we're waiting for the drivers to prep themselves for this race, we'll jump over to the championship standings so you guys can see what the current championship standings look like. There is the rain. There is the proof. You have the rain. Don Omar wins. Will is there. Omar, you legend. There we go. So let's have a look at these championship standings so you guys can see what the current state of affairs is.
While you're doing
here
that, I
in
am just
SFR.
going to take this opportunity to nip off Kieran for a split second and take a couple of painkillers and get myself ready.
Yeah, go for it. So you've just heard it from there from Mr. Leclerc himself. Apparently half of this race will have rain. You can see the current drivers' standings there. You can see that Constant Ryan is the man to be beating at the top of the timing screens here in the top of the leaderboard, sorry, here in SFR. 20-point lead over Vapid Coot in second, with TS Leclerc in third. WRS Cam is the man in fourth. And I will say, WRS Cam did say today was the day he's going to take third place off Leclerc. So let's see if it happens. We will see if it happens. Whether TS Leclerc is able to hold on to that third place in the driver's standings. There is obviously 10 points between Cam and Leclerc. So anything could happen in Formula 1. As a wise and great man once said, anything could happen in Formula 1. And more than likely, it probably will. Obviously, those are the words of the late, great Murray Walker. Getting some lovely little insider information from the wonderful Semper HD. Thank you, Sebastian. So half of the race we have got rain, and it will be clearing up towards the second half of the race, so it should be nice to see. Uh-oh, have we got the timing glitch? Jamie, we may have that timing glitch because Shane jumped into quali late. We may have to lobby restart. That is not ideal if that is the case. So we'll just wait and see what is happening. Could potentially have a lobby restart if Constant Ryan is, unfortunately, he joined late, it's an own issue. Yeah, I had a feeling it might be. Are we going to go with as is, Jamie, or are we going to reset? We'll quickly jump back onto the live screen so you guys can see the rain, the wet weather, the wetness that is Interlagos here in Brazil. Game has put me last. Oh dear, shame. Yeah, I've added Jamie in the Discord for you, mate. I'm not sure what the plan is gonna be. TS Leclerc has readied up. So it looks like we are going with it how it is. So we are at 8:37. We are getting ready for the race here in Interlagos. Mr. Swayze is back just in time.
I am back just in time. Sorry about that. I did just grab a couple of painkillers.
That's alright.
But I am hunky dory and I am looking forward to this.
There we go. So unfortunately, Constant Ryan has had a little bit of a has had the wonderful Cody's timing glitch, which has meant that it's put him at the back of the pack. It has indeed put him at the back of the pack. But Leclerc has said that he is going to give him the points for that pole position. But unfortunately, Ryan will be having a little bit of a challenge on his hands now. It is going to be the last to question mark challenge by Constant Ryan. So we will see how things go. You can see, obviously, with the wet weather conditions, everyone is starting on those intermediate tyres. Let's get the telemetry up so we can see how much ERS is being deployed by drivers and all that jazz. As A. Jackson and Dom the Noodle have a little collision on the formation lap. Both been disqualified and will now be sitting on the grid.
A sign of things
Warning
to
for
come.
everyone else. Indeed. A sign of things to come. But it wouldn't be a league race in the wet without a few collisions, would it, Swayze?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, you know, especially when you've not had on its first lap, you've got the formation lap, which is not racing speed. You've got to just feel it out. So there's always going to be a few slight incidents, a few slight taps, people looking to make that optimistic move where, you know, you can't see because of the vision with the spray and stuff as well. So should be a great start.
It should hopefully be a very, very fun and interesting start to this race. Predicted pit strategies are on screen now. We have been reliably informed that only half of this race is going to be wet. So there is a chance that it could dry up towards the second half of this race, Swayze. So it'll be interesting to see what these drivers have done in terms of setups. See what they have.
I'm guessing if I was Will, I would have installed a retractable umbrella on the picnic table.
Well, let's have a look. 5 red lights are on and they are out, and away we go here in Interlagos. It's a very, very slow start for some of these drivers. Cam got us up to a pretty strong start though. Rapid Coot looking to potentially try and make the moves in the early few corners, not able to do so so far. We've got a couple of drivers coming off track. So we'll jump up and see what Constant Ryan has already made a jump on a number of people already off the start.
Yeah, I can just see him already looking in
Up
the
into
background.
P9. Yeah, it looks like it's P9 at the moment for Constant Ryan, so he's had an absolutely storming start there in that Williams car. So look to see him try and make his way up this grid as quickly as he possibly can. He's definitely going to be the man to watch. Surprisingly,
Conditions are so much fun to race on. They produce so much great racing. There's so much that can go wrong on the track.
oh, on the note of going wrong, Christo's had a little moment.
We have a yellow flag. Next to
Christo did unfortunately have a little bit of a moment, lost the back end just a little bit. Has he got any damage? He has got end plate damage. He's got left front end plate damage on that Red Bull. And in these wet conditions, that's going to make this car even harder to drive. Constant Ryan gets past Big Will for P8.
fastest lap.
Kirby looking to potentially make a move on Jackson just ahead. Is Kirby going to be able to make the move on A. Jackson? Not into turn 1. Now Kirby's going to have to look in the wing mirrors because there's a Williams-shaped car of Constant Ryan hunting down these two drivers here. Vapiku regains second place off of TES Leclerc. We will see whether Constant Ryan is able to jump up any more positions. Big Will has done better than he thought he was going to. He promised me he was going to be setting up a picnic table on the exit of turn 1 by the end of lap 1. We're currently 3 laps into this race, and Mr. Big Will has not wrecked his car. So, it's an achievement. It's an achievement already for Mr. Big Will. Well done, Will. Super proud of you there, bro. That's what he says. Achievement unlocked. Ryan coming down the inside of Kirby. That was a nice easy move there for Constant Ryan. He's going to move his way up to P7 now. Next car to hunt down is going to be A. Jackson in the Ferrari. So expect to see him to be on the rear.
To close, but it shouldn't take him too long, I don't think.
Now, with the speed that he's had of these last couple of weeks, this will not be long before Constant Ryan is on the back.
Motoring at the moment.
Cam is looking to try and make as big a gap as possible between himself and Constant Ryan, because he knows that Constant Ryan is going to be a man on a mission. In fact, Constant Ryan went purple in Sector 3 across that last lap then. We will have a quick look at the fastest lap.
Most certainly will be a man on a mission, that is for sure. But of course, while it is raining, there is no DRS. It is all down to your ERS management and driver skill.
It is indeed, but as we said, it wasn't going to take long for Constant Ryan to be on the back of A. Jackson in the Ferrari. And we went wrong. About a lap after he makes the move on Kirby, who has been overtaken by both Big Will and Dom the Noodle now. Constant Ryan is now on the rear end of A. Jackson in the Ferrari. So expect to see Constant Ryan make that move very, very shortly. He's getting so close now. We jump back on board.
You can see he is being slightly held because Big Will, I think, is actually gaining on them at the moment.
He is. Big Will is ever so slightly closing that gap down to 7/10 now. But as these cars now get onto the fast final section here in Interlagos, this is where the guys will start pulling away from Big Will. Constant Ryan, is he going to look to potentially make a move down the inside of Andrew Jackson into turn 1? Does not make the move on A. Jackson just yet. Coming through the center S's now. Of course, you have to remember, with his wet weather conditions, as Swayze did say, there is no DRS just yet. If the track dries up enough. Oh, we've lost Kirby! We've lost to Kirby. We are Kirby-less.
Safety car, safety car.
And we have a full course safety car on lap 4 here in Interlagos. Kirby looks to have lost it out of the center S's, taking the left-hander before what would be the DRS straight. We have unfortunately had our first casualty here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. So WRS Cam, all of that hard work that Cam had to build as big a gap as he could over Constant Ryan, all for nothing. Because now with this safety car, everyone's going to bunch up again.
Yeah, it's not really worth pitting, is it? Unless you've got damage as well at this point. Yeah. There's no reason. There's no no stop to the rain at the moment. It's still falling out of the sky. It's not heavy enough for wets. I don't see that 4 laps is enough to make any change to the Inter.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. 4 laps, it'll be very, very early to have any real sort of tyre degradation on those intermediate tyres. So, and we do know that with the intermediates, you can expect these to go for about 18 to 20 laps before you do have to come in for a new set of inters if you are doing that one-stop strategy. Cam now picking up the safety car in sector 2.
Yeah, I mean, with how long it's raining for, one stop when the changeover doesn't happen, I suppose is a plausible option if you don't really want to be sticking on the soft car. I mean, it's normally a 2-stop race, this one, isn't it now? I mean, it used to be 1-stoppable, but Or is this the one where you have to ignore Jeff and it is actually one stoppable soft to medium?
I'm pretty sure you can one-stop it soft to medium, and it's just a case of ignoring Jeff. As most people do, because Jeff doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's the one. So, pretty much we're expecting, depending on whenever the rain stops, it could be mediums to the end then. If we get rain till about lap 12, lap anywhere after that.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we were told by a couple of sources, one being TS Leclerc, the other being Semper HD, that we have supposedly got rain for about half the race before we move to overcast conditions.
Rich.
So halfway through this race, you're looking at about lap 18, which would be when the people would be thinking about doing that one-stop strategy, moving themselves onto another set of intermediates. But of course, if the track starts to dry up before that point, you could well see people move on to the medium tyres. If it's any later than that, if we're looking at anything from around lap 23, 24, if the game isn't to be believed, and we do have longer under these wet conditions, you could see a few of these drivers move onto the softs and try and push the softs to the end of the race, which I think, Swayze, you'll agree with me, could make for a very, very interesting end to the race.
And I do agree, and I think there are those the different drivers out there that have got different driving styles, and you know, some drivers on the wheel have the ability to stretch tyres further than you sometimes think is possible. So you might find that if you are one of those drivers, and we could see that happen.
Well, I've just noticed something very interesting from Cam's onboard, Swayze. There's no rain.
Has it stopped raining?
It stopped raining.
It was raining when the safety car first deployed, but yeah, no, I cannot see no physical rain coming out of the air now.
This
just the spray off of the cars.
Could be very, very interesting. Now, we were told half the race under wet conditions, but it looks to be a little bit less than that. So it's all going to come down to now a dry line, or whether the heavens decide to open once again.
You never know. It could be one of those weird tracks where it's raining in one corner but not in the other. That does happen occasionally.
It has been known to happen.
One more lap for Christo to catch up, and I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap.
That's what I'm thinking. We are watching Christo now. He's just coming up to the start-finish line. He has now crossed the line. He is now on lap 7, as the rest of the field are just starting to take what would normally be considered the DRS zone. Obviously, in these wet conditions, we have no DRS, and we are currently under safety car conditions.
Which, of course, Constant Ryan has got to be absolutely loving, because it's just pulled all those who were building a gap while he was going through traffic back towards him.
Indeed it has. So expect to see Constant Ryan, the man who moved from 13th up to 9th within the first few corners of this race on lap 1, now sitting in P6. Expect him to do something very, very similar come the safety car restart, as Christo now joins the back of the pack and joins A. Jackson. So expect to see the safety car come in this lap. So we will jump up to WRS Cams on board, and we will watch to see whether those safety car lights do indeed go out. They have gone out. We are going to get ready to go racing once again here in Brazil. Cam will be pacing the field in Sector 3. Cam decides now when to go. No overtaking until the cars have passed the safety car line. And the flags and the lights go green. Until we go green, no one is able to overtake. When is Cam going to go? When is Cam going to go? Cam decides to go now on the run up to the final corner. Christo looks to make some very, very early moves there. Christo
looks like he's getting really dry.
Christo had a very, very good start there. On that safety car restart, Christo's up to P8. Swayze, he's had an absolutely blinding start. From the back, he's up to P8. I'm not sure how he's done that. He's overtaken Big Will on the straight. Currently in 7th place is that Red Bull.
The back of the pack behind Constant Ryan.
I have
In one corner.
absolutely no idea. I really wish we'd stayed on board with Christo now. He has picked up a 3-second time penalty though. So that is the first penalty of the race.
Tom Goring getting a little bit of a slide on. I'm not sure whether the track. I mean, I can still see spray kicking off, but you know, they do like it's still a damp track. You have to find the wet line as the track dries with the inters.
You do indeed. Constant Ryan, interestingly, Swayze, didn't change any positions at all on that restart. Maybe got caught out by Cam going when he did. So wasn't able to take advantage of those overtakes.
Sun beaming there as I'm on board with Constant Ryan going up the back hill there towards the start finish straight. The sun beaming through the fence. It is most definitely drying out, and it is drying out rather fast.
Indeed.
There's not even that much spray that I can see when I'm currently riding on board. How long do you think? I mean, Dom the Noodle is
in the pits. We're looking to see. It is. Soft
soft.
tyres. Soft tyres onto Dom the Noodle. He is going to be the guinea pig.
In this race, but it could still be a two-stop on slick.
It could well
One stop
be.
it'll be a two-stop.
It'll be a two-stop.
This one as well.
Yep. So expect to see 2 stops now. Probably soft medium from most of these guys. Or you could even go soft if you can hold those softs for long
mediums
enough.
will go far, but I don't think they'll go, 27 laps if you put them on there?
Yeah, I think they'd be
It's asking a lot, isn't it?
It is asking a lot, and I think you could start seeing a lot of bangs in tyres.
And I think, Dom the Noodle as well, going for the softs as well. It might be the right option with the mugginess, just trying to. They'll pick up better than the mediums as well in this sort of temperature.
Indeed, they will. I'm going to have a watch of TES Leclerc. Is Leclerc going to dive into the pits? No, but Cam and Vapid Coot do. Does Vapid Coot come in as well? Yes.
This could cost Leclerc. But it hasn't said. Oh, there it is. Enabled. There's the message. That 1 lap extra could seriously cost Leclerc now.
Vapid Coot on hards. Vapid Coot is going to go to the end. Cam is going to take that risk on those medium tyres, as is Christo. Semper picks up a 3-second time penalty. Constant Ryan on the softs. Ryan moving onto the soft.
Now, of course, Leclerc has got all this information, and he can make a choice now based on what his opponents have put on as well, going that extra lap. But I do think it may drop him back a couple of seconds.
It could well do. We will see what happens. Tom Gorian trying to see if he can hunt down Alpaca Carbon here for P2. No moves just yet.
It's not so bad when you get it slightly wrong on a track this size. You get that wrong.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
A track like Spa, and it's insane how much damage
Oh, it was Kira. Kira has had a little bit of a spin.
It's a Ferrari, yep.
Yep, she's
still on the inter tyres. The track, I think it's too dry for them. I think they're overheating.
Yeah, it's got to wait for all the cars to come around. She has got some damage. Leclerc, Alpaca Carbon, Tom Gorin and Big Will all come into the pits now. Is Jackson...
Constant Ryan is literally right on Vapid. He's in the DRS.
Andrew Jackson comes in as well. Leclerc on hards, Alpaca on mediums. He does indeed. Leclerc on the hards, Cam on those mediums, Alpaca on those mediums. Tom Gorin on the hards as well. Dom the Noodle, 1:16.7, fastest lap of the race so far. Constant Ryan up into P4 now.
Vapid struggling on those hards there to get his stop. He locked up. Constant Ryan had to board move. Is that Leclerc come out in front of him? Insane.
He has.
I never would have predicted that.
I think A. Jackson had a little bit of a moment there.
VSC. We've got VSC.
Virtual safety cars deployed because we saw it on stream. I'm going to watch it, but I think A. Jackson had a little moment exiting the pits and ended up in the wall, Sways.
Seems very awkward.
I'm just going to watch it back on my stream. My stream is slightly delayed. He did. He went to try and turn left. The car went straight. And unfortunately, A. Jackson ended up in the wall. That is the reason for this virtual safety car. Kira has come into the pits to fit those medium tyres. But
I don't know, a 4-second gap.
Cam,
Or 3.
3.5 second lead over Leclerc in second place. Vapid Coot in third. Constant Ryan up into fourth. Now DRS re-enabled.
Back racing.
We are back under green flag conditions. We're going to jump and have a look at Constant Ryan side by side with Vapid Coot on the run up to turn 1. Is he going to make that move done into the centre S's? He is indeed. That is Constant Ryan. Up into P3, and now the hunt is on for Leclerc. Incredible. He's going to get DRS on TS Leclerc. Is he going to be able to catch him?
From Vapid as well.
He will have to defend from Vapid. Is he going to get close enough to Leclerc? He's not. Vapid Coot not close enough to Constant Ryan to make an overtake. We did see Tom Gorian get overtaken by Alpaca Carbon for 5th place. As Cam picks up a time penalty. Dom the Noodle picks up a time penalty.
Lots of different strategies going on in play at the moment. We've got 2 cars out there on the softs, we've got a few out there on the hards and quite a few on the mediums. So this race, you know, is not over by a long way. Just because all the different strategies in play, anything can happen.
Indeed. As a wise man once said, anything could happen in Formula One, and it probably will. Obviously, those are the words of the late, great Murray Walker. Constant Ryan is going to get that run on Leclerc now, but of course we'll have to keep an eye on Vapid Coot behind. Pulls to the inside of the track. Is he able to make the move on Leclerc into T1? Dom the Noodle goes fastest, 1:13.8 on those soft tyres.
That's a quick lap at this early stage. There's still quite a lot of fuel on board.
Here we go side by side now. Constant Ryan and TS Leclerc on the run up to the end of this DRS straight. Is he going to get the move done? He is going to get that move done. Constant Ryan up into P2 now. Leclerc going to potentially come under pressure now from Vapid Coot. And Alpaca Carbon joining the fray as well. Alpaca Carbon saying, I want a bit of this party. Let me have some fun. I want to get involved. So he's jumped into the back of this little queue. So we could get some very, very interesting racing now. Interestingly, after overtaking TS Leclerc, Swade's Constant Ryan's already pulled out a 2.5 seconds on that AlphaTauri car.
He is a man on a mission, and he knows that he has to put that time in now. He's on them soft tyres, and he needs to close and use them while he's on them.
Indeed he is. Constant Ryan, 1:11.9. 1:11.9 by Constant Ryan on those soft tyres. Just to give you an idea of the fastest lap so far, guys. The previous fastest lap was a 1:11.943 on those medium tyres set by Cam. Constant Ryan has beaten that. In terms of fastest laps, the fastest laps are separated by about 3 seconds.
We've got Vapid and Leclerc going side by side.
We do indeed. Is Leclerc going to be able to keep himself in front for now? These guys are both on hard tyres as well. So there's no tyre advantage for these guys. It is just going to be purely on the ERS and fuel management and driver skill.
Does have the tyre advantage and is looking to make a move on any mistake by one of those two. Indeed
he is. It's going to be a little bit of a DRS train here. I think Leclerc could well be a sitting duck as we come through. Cam 1:11.032 on those medium tyres. Constant Ryan 1:10.6. We're going to jump on with Vapid Coot. He's going to be able to make a move on the inside of Leclerc into turn 1. Isn't able to make a move just yet. But we'll jump to Alpaca Carbon now. Is Alpaca going to make a move on both of these guys down the DRS street? Dom the Noodle picked up another 3-second time penalty. We're going to ride on board. Watch this battle unfold from Alpaca Carbon's point of view. Coot!
How did he defend that?
Very, very good defending.
This with no DRS.
Very, very good defending. But now, is Vapid going to get around? No, he's still not able to make the move around that AlphaTauri. TS Leclerc showing how good of a defensive driver he is in the world of F1. Taking all of his skill here to try and keep that McLaren and Alfa Romeo behind him so he can hold on to that P3 position. Guys in the chat, LabMouse7, what a race so far. Completely agree, buddy. Completely agree. This has been an absolutely cracking race so far. Cam 1:10.3. Constant Ryan not able to improve, so Cam currently winning.
Rapid's going to have another go.
Rapid looking to have another look on Leclerc, not able to make the move. Dom the Noodle, however, though, does make that move on Tom Gorian, up for P6 there. So one AlphaTauri driver having to defend, whilst the other is very much on the attack, but he will now have to defend himself from the racing point of Tom Gorian. Is Tom Gorian going to be able to make a move on Dom the Noodle? No, he is not. Dom the Noodle holds on to that P6.
This is insane. And Christo, as well, is closing in on the back of Big Will.
He is indeed the
Towards
gap.
back. But it's battle brilliant at the moment, though, between Leclerc and Vapid and Alpaca Carbon. It's absolutely special to watch. Just need to get a sticker printed that says caution wide load and stick it on the back of that AlphaTauri.
That's what I'm thinking. If we've got any people that can make stickers, if you can, send them in to the AlphaTauri HQ in Faenza in Italy. Constant Ryan 1:10.1, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So far.
I said he needed to use those soft irons, and he is rarely using them. But the gap is not dropping as fast as I think he would like.
No,
In fact,
still
I think
4.
the gap isn't. Oh no, 3, 4.
I think it's lingering around that 4-second mark there, Swayze. But the gap between Constant Ryan and Leclerc is very much growing. 5.6 seconds now. The gap between P2 and P3.
But while he is pushing this hard, Ryan, he does need, try his best not to pick up one of those track limit penalties, as Cam already has one, and he could use that to his advantage later on.
Indeed,
Technically, he's only 0.7 off of the lead, really.
Well, you say that. We're looking at the penalty situation. Cam has 8 seconds worth of penalties. Don the Noodle with 6. Christo with 6. Semper with 3. And Kira with 5.
No way! How's he done that? They're exchanging.
These guys are exchanging fastest laps. Constant Ryan is just there.
But how is Cam doing that with the medium, though?
Cam is a man on a mission. He's had the chance to start from pole following the timing glitch for Constant Ryan. He's looking to try and drive the shoes off this car.
I'm going to look at Vapid. It is. He's going to get. Has he got it?
I think he has. He has got it. So Alpaca Carbon up to 4th. Tom Goring did have a little look.
Those medium tyres.
He is indeed. Tom Goring did have a little look at Dom the Noodle down the straight. Got very, very close. Wasn't able to make a move work there. So Tom Goring still stuck behind that AlphaTauri of Dom the Noodle. So expect to see
Alpaca
that.
Carbon needs to push on and try and get onto the back of Leclerc as fast as possible. Vapid had enough goes. Alpaca said, no, it's my time now. I'm past you. I want to go with him. I've got the fresher tyres, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to quickly get up there and make use of them.
Indeed, he will. And he looks to be doing just that. The gap is less than 7 tenths, now less than 6 tenths. Alpaca Carbon with DRS getting really, really close to Leclerc. Not close enough yet to make that overtake. But it's coming, Swayze. It is definitely coming.
It is. I mean, obviously we know Constant Ryan and Dom the Noodle, are going to be pitting. Do you think the medium runners are going to try and take it to the end? We know, I'm assuming, that Leclerc and Vapid are that hard to the end. That would be the assumption there.
Yeah, the Haas will definitely be running to the end from now. As you did mention, the guys on those soft tyres, Constant Ryan and Dom the Noodle, will need to come into the pits at least one more time. Expect them, when they do come in, to potentially put on a set of medium tyres. Unless, of course, they can run these very, very long.
Why would they not have another fresh set of softs?
I mean, they could potentially. Depends on how long they. I mean, it's 9-10 laps so far. So I suppose we'll get an idea when Dom the Noodle comes into pit to see how long these tyres can go. I mean, if he's able to hold these on for another 3 or 4 laps.
12. I think you could take them 12 laps. back there.
So that'll take you to what, the end of lap 22. So you'll be doing laps 23 to 34. You are going to be cutting it tight on that second set of soft tyres, but it is possible.
Cutting it tight is my middle name, mate.
It is very much possible, though. And we said it was only going to be a matter of time before Alpaca Carbon got onto the back of Leclerc, and there he is, within 3/10 of that AlphaTauri driver. Leclerc had a little bit of respite. Oh, Alpaca got a little bit too close to the AlphaTauri. Vapid sneaks by.
What was the contact?
There
I'm
was.
not sure there was or not. If you got
There was
damage,
contact, but no damage.
Like there's any damage.
There was definitely contact though between the two drivers, but no damage so
One
far.
slight little mistake. It just you can show you the aero just being behind the car. You can just outbrake yourself so easily.
You can indeed. We'll ride on board with Alpaca Carbon now, looking to now try and regain that position from Vapid. Is he able to make the move so far? Oh, big lock up by Vapid into T1. That's not going to help his tyres. But not enough to allow Alpaca the chance to make an overtake. Of course, we have now got that DRS train forming once again. We're going to jump to Tom Gorian, who is looking to potentially make a move on Dom the Noodle. Goal! What a switchback by Tom Gorian. Is he going to be able to make the move? Oh, Dom the Noodle gets the elbows out, pushes him wide and holds on to that P6.
That was on the edge of legal.
It was very much getting the elbows out there was Dom the Noodle. Not going to comment too much more on that, but I think that could potentially be something for the stewards to have a look at during the week. Vapid now within half a second of Leclerc could potentially look to make a move on that AlphaTauri driver. Is he finally going to be able to get past TES Leclerc? He's been able to bridge a bit of a gap to Alpaca Carbon. Alpaca is of course within DRS range, but isn't close enough to mount any sort of attack should one of these guys make a mistake. We'll watch from this overhead shot.
Vapid are going to go back at it again. All this time, Leclerc's had no DRS and still maintaining these two behind him.
I'm going to have a look at his telemetry. I will say though, Sways, TES Leclerc running very, very low on that ERS. So he is defending with the use of his ERS. At the end of that straight, he only had 6% left. Alpaca's got Alpaca's got about 50%. Vapid on about 30, and Leclerc around the 20 mark. So we're going to jump to Vapid's view here. We're going to jump on board with Vapid as he comes up the hill now, much closer to Mr. Leclerc. Could now be the time where the move is made. Getting closer, 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 but not close enough.
I just hopped on with Dom as I saw he was on his lap. The tyres were 12 laps old, and I called it. Look, bang
there
on
we go.
in the pit,
Bang on 12 laps. What tyres is he going to go on to? It is going to be another set of softs. It is another set of softs on that AlphaTauri. So that should...
With starting on the wet tyre, they're not obligated to use both sets of dry.
They are not. They're not indeed. It was a wet start, so you do not have to use a tyre combo. So it'll be interesting to see now whether Constant Ryan comes into the pits as well. We saw Dom the Noodle run these soft tyres for 12 laps. Will Constant Ryan do the same thing, or will he be looking to potentially go just that little bit longer? Nope, he is going to come into the pits as well on lap 24. End of lap 24, Constant Ryan is in the pits. This is going to give TES Leclerc the second place back in this Grand Prix. And it's going to give Constant Ryan all sorts of work. Alpaca Carbon comes into the pits, potentially for a set of soft tyres. Constant Ryan has put on the other set of soft tyres. Now he is down into 4th position. We'll see what tyres go onto Alpaca Carbon's car. It is going to be soft tyres. Softs going onto Alpaca's car.
Alpaca was on the mediums. That means, will we have to see all of the medium runners pit as well? Or will Cam have to pit? I mean, look how high Will is now. He's literally 3 seconds behind Ryan now.
He's indeed going to be side by side with these guys, Christo and Alpaca on the exit of the pits. Christo is able to keep on to P7, just maybe. Alpaca's going to come back now, though. Christo, these guys are side by side, going up through the long right-hander now. Is Alpaca going to make that move? He is going to make that move stick. Alpaca Carbon up into P7 there. Constant Ryan now on the hunt for Tom Gorian and P4. Is he going to be able to make a move on that Racing Point car? Of course, he is on those hard tyres. Cam's coming to the pits. Cam is in the pits on soft tyres, Sways. So we did wonder whether he was going to come into the pits and put on a set of soft tyres. He has indeed come into the pits. He's leaving the pits now. Constant Ryan coming through. Turns 2 and 3. These guys are going to be so close to each other on the exit. But Cam is stuck behind Kira. Cam is stuck behind Kira. Constant Ryan is going to get that P3 now. Cam is going to have a real challenge now to see if he can catch back up to Constant Ryan. He's led for so long in this race.
Let me ask you this. 11 laps. Brand new soft versus hard. 9 seconds. That's a second a lap.
It could be done.
Rapid.
It could be done. It could well be done by Constant Ryan.
Only if we start seeing Constant Ryan fastest lap, Constant Ryan fastest lap. I think we'll see a few from Cam though as well, because Cam's also got that same opportunity.
Yeah, of course. And a key thing to notice, to remember as well, Sways, the reason why Constant Ryan was able to get that jump on Cam was because Cam had a 5-second penalty in addition to his 3 seconds, which he served in the pits.
Yeah, so it's now down to 3
It
on
is
track.
now down to 3 on track for Cam. We've said...
But Tom Gorin is only 0.4 behind him.
He is, yeah. Cam did make a move on Tom Gorin on the run up to turn 1. You did ask whether 9 seconds was going to be enough, big of a gap.
It needs to be a second a lap, yeah, and I'm seeing it.
At the moment, down to 7.8
This
and
is
gaining quickly.
I mean, bearing in mind that both Vapid and Leclerc are together on track.
This could be P1.
This could be P1 here.
This could indeed be P1 for Constant Ryan.
Closing in the last two, I reckon, close what? Maybe earlier?
The way he's going at the moment,
lap 32. Close lap 32.
And the way it's going at the moment, it could be a lot closer than people may well be expecting. Vapid goes deep, locks up the tyres, gonna give Leclerc a chance. Constant Ryan, you said, Sways, you wanted Constant Ryan fastest lap. Constant Ryan fastest lap. He's gone back to back so far. We will watch now. Constant Ryan coming onto the straight as the top two are coming off of that DRS route. Alpaca Carbon though, 108.8 goes faster. Whew, what a race this is going to be.
Got to get through the traffic. He's got a 2-second gap to catch up to Will.
Semper picks up another 3 second. But he's looking to potentially make a move on Christo here. Is he close enough to make a move on that Rebel? He's not.
Even if he does close it, we've seen all race how wide that fucking AlphaTauri has been made by Leclerc tonight. And do you think Vapid's really struggled to get past him? We've not seen Alpaca Carbon do it either because he messed up before he could have an attempt. You know, I know he's got the faster tyre, but Leclerc's driving well tonight.
He is indeed. Constant Ryan now, though, coming up to the start-finish line. He's really, really closing this gap now. The gap now down to 6.3. Bear in mind, this was 9 seconds when Constant Ryan came out of the pits just a few laps ago. He's been able to make 3 seconds.
Alpaca Big Will in the pits.
Big Will coming into the pits. Is Will going to put on these soft tyres? You can see what everyone else around him's doing. Is Will putting on those soft tyres? You bet he is! Big Will putting on those softs. Semper coming in on 16 lap medium tyres. Are we going to be seeing Semper putting on the soft tyres? Mediums go off, softs go on. It is indeed soft tyres going
We
onto
might
that
actually
car.
even see a pass for the lead at the moment. Well, an attempt, because Vapid has closed it to the closest it's been in a while. It was right down to 4, almost 3 tenths at this point. If he gets a good run up the hill, he's got more ERS than he had the last couple of laps.
Let's have a look. Bouncing off the limiter on the telemetry. You heard it there, guys. Is he going to be able to make a move on TES Leclerc into turn 1? He's not going to be close enough. He's really looking up these front left tyres, though.
Good exit, though.
He did get a good exit, but we are watching now as those guys have taken turn 3. Constant Ryan is now taking turn 3 himself and is now on the DRS straight with the guys. This is going to be a fantastic end to the race. You did say 32, Swayze. I think it could be earlier. The way Constant Ryan's going at the moment, I think it could be a lap earlier. I'm going to say 31 before we see Constant Ryan get to the back of these two and potentially make that move for the lead of this Grand Prix. Half a second is the gap between Vapicu and Leclerc. Cam picks up another 3-second penalty. It's not a penalty Cam wants. We'll have a look at the penalty situation again. Cam with 6 seconds of penalties, along with Dom the Noodle and Semper. Kira is on 3 seconds and Christo is on 9. That is your penalty situation. Now, Constant Ryan, the gap down to under 4 seconds as these cars move on to lap 30 here in Interlagos. Whew, this is going to be a nice, tasty end to the race. I mean, what a race for you to come back to, Swayze.
Yeah, mate, it's been brilliant.
You've picked a good one to come back to, bud.
It's a track that, like I said, you know, you always throw something up in it, whether it's the weather that changes it or the fact that there's multiple overtaking chances around here. It's a short track and lots can happen.
Could indeed. Dom the Noodle
Dom
the Noodle going around the outside of Christo. That is a clean overtake there from the other AlphaTauri driver. His teammate obviously up in P1 at the moment. Dom the Noodle trying to see if he can now close the 10-second gap that he has to Alpaca Carbon. But you do have to bear in mind, guys, that Dom the Noodle has got 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Constant Ryan, that gap is now under 3 seconds. I think we both could be a lap or so out. I think it could be 33. Swayze on this current form. He's going about a second a lap. Is Constant Ryan. Gap now down to 3 seconds. I will say, interestingly though, he hasn't set a fastest lap for a while.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You got to push, but you've got to save some life, haven't you?
Let's have a quick
That's
look.
the key. Like I said earlier, I mean, what lap did he pit? 6. He's plenty of life in his tyres.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time left in those. Just having a look at his lap time since he's come back out. 1090, 1090, 1091, 1089, 1093 and a 1091 from Constant Ryan. Very, very consistent lap times there.
Picks up a penalty.
Oh, that's going to change things. Vapid has a 3-second time penalty. That is now Constant Ryan up into net P2.
And he can smell it now. When you can, this is the difference though. These last 3 seconds, when you can see the cars right there, they just. I mean, look, it's already under 2.
Indeed, gap is under 2 seconds. This could happen very, very soon. He can see both of the cars ahead of him now. Constant Ryan, he can see them ahead of him on track.
On the back of this battle on lap 32, I'm still calling it.
You know what, Swayze? I'll give it to you.
Maybe the back end of 32, but I don't know. He's got to get up there yet. Like I said, Leclerc has been driving amazingly all race, defensively sublime. Sublime, that's the word.
Yeah, sublime defensive driving by Leclerc. As Swayze said there, the gap now under 2 seconds between Constant Ryan and Vapid Coot. You will see, you just saw Constant Ryan there in the back of the screen as the drivers took that turn. You see him again now there. These guys are getting so close to each other. We are into now the last 4.5 laps.
In the corners where he's making the time with the grip.
It is indeed. Constant Ryan now down to a 1.5 seconds. Dom the Noodle picks up another 3-second time penalty. 1.3, 1.2 the gap now.
Almost within DRS, you can smell it. I can smell it. You can smell it. We can all smell it.
We can all smell how close.
It's coming.
It's
We've got
definitely
3
coming.
laps remaining here.
We do. Lap 33 of 36. So we've got 4 laps of racing left, including the one we're currently on. TS Leclerc with a half a second advantage over Vapid Coot. But Constant
That
Ryan...
has been the same gap all race between those two.
It has. It has been nothing less than that. It's been at its
2
best.
tenths.
2 tenths are getting so close. That's probably the closest it's been for a long
knows,
time.
Though, with his penalty, he's got to get in front of Leclerc.
He knows he needs to not only get in front of Leclerc, but he needs to then try and bridge a gap to Leclerc. Constant Ryan is within a second, Swayze. Constant Ryan is within a second. He can get onto the back of this battle now. Here we go. It's going to get interesting. I'm going to be evil to the guys in chat though. Big Will looking to potentially make a move on the inside of Christo out of the DRS zone. Not able to make it just yet. This is a battle for 8th place. Christo picks up another 3-second time penalty. We will jump back up to the battle at the head of the race very, very shortly, guys. Just want to see if Big Will is able to make a move on Christo. Not able to make a move just yet. I'm watching the gap. Now is the time we're going to go up to Constant Ryan. He's got the DRS on Vapid Coot. He's not going to be able to make a move just yet, but there is 3 laps left in this Grand Prix. This is going to be a very, very tense finish here in Brazil. It's going to be an absolutely cracking race. Here we go. Constant Ryan on the back of Vapid Coot. Is he going to make the move? Not just yet. He's getting closer though, Swayze. Getting ever closer every single turn. Surely it's a matter of time now.
There's 2 laps. Vapid's not found a way past Jamie all race. Ryan's got to find a way past Vapid, then Jamie.
Didi, as this is probably going to be the first chance he's going to get to make an overtake on one of these guys. Here we go. We're going to ride on board with Constant Ryan. He's getting right up to the rear of that McLaren of Vapid Coot. DRS is enabled. ERS on in overtake mode. Fuel mix 3 is Constant Ryan going to make it? Not yet. He is not. Constant Ryan not able to get Vapid Coot. We are on the penultimate lap of racing here now in Brazil. There are 2 laps left in this Grand Prix. TS Leclerc has held on for so long with these cars in front of him. I know for a fact.
That's the problem right there. Vapid's got DRS from Leclerc to defend with.
He has indeed. So it is going to be that tyre wear situation for Constant Ryan to enable him to hopefully make that overtake.
Almost at the end. I mean, they're 10 laps old for Ryan now. I mean, like I said, 12 laps is a push on this. It's pretty much end of the line.
It is. It's going to be
too hard, especially with all the laps he's done. We don't want him to go bang.
Exactly. So he's going to be 11 laps by the end of this Grand Prix. Here we go. Here we go. Second chance again is Constant Ryan. Gonna make the move. Vapid moves to the left. Ryan sticks behind him. Gets into his slipstream. Is he going to pull off to the right? Pulls off to the right. Is he going to be able to make a move into turn 1? Vapid Coot still holds on to P2. Obviously, Ryan knows.
And it's working for him.
He is indeed, but Ryan obviously knows that he has got that P2 in the bag anyway because of Vapid's penalties. But Ryan obviously wants that P1. He's not able to get it. We are on the final lap of the race. TS Leclerc has been battling with these 2 guys behind him for the longest time. As we have a wonderful little bot account that's decided to come and say hello. And it's now going to get very, very quickly yeeted out of here. Goodbye, Mr. Bot Account. We don't like to see your kind around here. Instead, we like to see top quality battles as Kira picks up another 3-second time penalty. A matter of corners left for TS Leclerc. Is he going to be able to hold on and pick up a win? I know for a fact Jamie is going to be in a party and he's going to scream very, very loudly in about 3, 2, 1. Jamie wins the Brazilian Grand Prix! Constant Ryan picks up second. Vapid Coot in third following those penalties. WRS Cam in 4th. Tom Gorin is going to come and cross the line now to finish 5th on debut. Very, very strong drive there from Tom Gorin. Alpaca comes in just behind him in 6th place. Dom the Noodle now coming round the last few corners. Gonna have a quick look at the penalty situation. In fact, Dom the Noodle's let Big Will go. Will has only got 3 seconds. Dom the Noodle has 9. So Big Will is going to finish P7 on track. Dom the Noodle finishes P8. Kira has already crossed the line in P11. So we're just waiting for Christo and Semper now. Christo coming up to the line and crosses the line in P9. And here comes Semper. That was your Brazilian Grand Prix. Swayze, what a race, man.
Fucking was it? What a fucking race. I mean, I've got to agree there. I mean, with the Codemaster is not normally something I like to do, but I am, for me, Ryan, driver of the day, the way he got shafted out of qualifying, and, you know, the performance to come back and provide us with that spectacular ending to the race. But with that said, an outstanding drive from Jamie tonight.
Indeed it was. Let's get these guys into the party. Let's get Mr. Leclerc. Where is he? Where is Mr. T.E.S. Leclerc? There he is. Let's get T.S. Leclerc into the party. We also need to get Constant Ryan and Vapid Q in as well. Let's get these going. You got them?
I'm sure I got Vapid. I did have Vapid.
I've got Vapid. I've got Vapid there. And let's get Ryan in as well if we haven't already got Ryan into the party. Invites have all been sent out to your top 3 drivers. Here comes Constant Ryan into the party. And we've got Vapicoop joining us as well, and here we go. We have our podium places. Whew. Can now finally have a breath. Can relax for a little bit. God, you guys gave us some amazing racing. On behalf of myself and Swayze, thank you guys for a fantastic, fantastic race. We're going to start with our 3rd place driver, Vapid Coop. Vapid, you picked up that 3-second time penalty towards the end of the race that did cost you that 2nd place. How are you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, well, first of all, congrats to Leclerc and Ryan on the positions. Yeah, I was a bit gutted when that had happened. It was very harsh. I still had like a tyre in the actual track, but nevertheless, I got the penalty. So, yeah, I can't complain too much because, you know, obviously it was a track extension, and yeah, I was just struggling with so much grip in that race, especially trying to launch attack on Leclerc coming at that final corner. I just didn't have the grip at all going through that corner for some reason. And towards the end of the race, I was on the risk of getting a puncture, so I also kind of had to defend while also trying to kind of save the tyres and nurse it home to try and, you know, make good damage limitations. So, you know, I lost 3 points, but there's still a long way to go, so I'm not totally gutted. I'm still happy with the podium, and we just move on.
We do indeed. Going to comment on that battle between yourself and Leclerc. You guys battled for so long, but you weren't able to get past that Alpha Tauri. Must have been really painful for you going through that thing, and how am I going to get past this guy?
Well, I had a good opportunity going through sector 2 in the middle of the race, and I was side by side with him through sector 2, and I thought I almost had the move done, but he just out-tractioned me. But every time I got close to him through that middle sector, he would always just get this brilliant exit off that final corner, and it would just deny me to have a go at him down the main straight. So it was really just that one main corner I was struggling to launch attack at him because he just had better grip going through that corner. So yeah, I'm gutted, but it was a good battle overall, so I enjoyed the race.
Indeed. Swayze, have you got anything you want to ask Vapid?
Yeah, man, shit, your struggles were real tonight. I mean, great race though. I mean, thoroughly, you stuck with Jamie throughout. I don't think there was ever a point where there was more than a second between you, other than the pit stop where I think you differed by a lap. But
yeah,
other than that, it was, you know, spectacular drive from you as always, and great podium, and hope to see you up here again, continuing your title challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fapiku. Moving on to our second place driver, Constant Ryan. Shane, you had that timing glitch to start the race, put you at the back of the pack. Didn't seem to phase you too much though, because within that first lap, you were already up into P9. Talk about that start, mate. What a start that was for you.
Yeah, I was just like, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to have to go for it now, and that's pretty much what I did the whole race. The only thing I'm kind of regretting is I had too much downforce. I was like 310, and was mega in the middle sector, but that's what cost me at the end. I was getting mega exits, but I just couldn't get alongside VAP. I was like, damn you downforce. But well done to them for pushing the hards that long, because I said to myself, I'm not going near the hards because they're just awful tires in this game. I was like, I'd rather go soft. But yeah, I just kind of went for it and took a couple of risks, but had to do it. Got not to start on pole because my lap was that was one of the best laps I've ever done. Like, I just came in, joined the session, just did a 6-7 out of nowhere. I was like, okay, that surprised me. But yeah, it's Code Masters free, but I'm still happy enough with that. And well done to the and VAP, like as usual, solid from them.
Yeah, well, myself and Swayze commented on it on the stream. You come in with 5 minutes left of the session, hit one fast lap, and you put yourself on pole. I think you definitely shocked Swayze, and I think you shocked quite a few of the guys on the in the chat.
Shocked myself.
What were your initial thoughts when you did cross the line and realised that you had put that on pole position with that one lap pace?
I just went through the first sector, I was like, 16.4, that's decent. Then I was like, 50.1? I was like, that's alright. I was like, hang on a second, I might get pole here. I was like, Jesus Christ, where'd that 7 come from?
Yeah.
I actually make a mistake on the second to last corner too, so it could have been a 6, I think.
So you could have been even faster. You made a mistake on the second to last corner and still put the car on pole position.
Yeah, I made a big mistake, but everywhere else was pretty good though.
Jeez, so with that, those soft tyres, so you said you were always going to go soft. The medium tyres never came into your thought process in terms of a pit stop?
No, because I knew they couldn't make it to the end. I thought soft now should be the fastest option, because the tyre wear isn't too bad around here. And yeah, I was just trying to take care of them, but also pushing hard. It was not easy to do. I think Vapid said the same thing. But yeah, I just decided to go soft. It's nice to just do quality lap after quality lap.
Yeah, I can imagine. So in the last 3 races, that's a first place and 2 seconds so far. Surely, if you're going to finish off the little the bookend here next week in Mexico, first step on the podium?
I wouldn't mind it. I do like Mexico. The middle sector is like one of my favourite parts of the game. The last sector is one of my least favourite parts of the game. So yeah, just see how it goes. Take it as it comes. If it's wet, I'm just going to give Vap a P1 then, to be honest, because I know how good he's in the wet.
Swayze, anything from you, bud?
Nah, great, fucking amazing drive today, Ryan. Great comeback through the grid. I mean, you drove well in the wet, you drove well in the dry. You provided us with a great strategy from you that
I just did it for the stream, to be honest.
The race up. Yeah, you spiced the end of the race up so much, and it was a pleasure to watch you come through the field the way you did. It's a shame you got shafted by Codemasters, because your quality lap was just one of a kind, really. Just one of them when you went out there, I do one shot, they got it in the bag.
Just whipped it out.
Well, that's the best thing to do, I hear.
I have to stop talking now.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
I mean, I totally agree with Codemasters today. For me, you were driver of the day.
No, thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you very much for joining us, Constant Ryan. Congratulations on that P2. And now, I think it's time we move on to a man who, I've got a very funny feeling when he crossed that line, either shouted really, really loudly or let out many, many expletives. T.S. Leclerc, Jamie, congratulations on the win, buddy. What a race!
Yeah, I'm currently running out of voice because I went full Pierre Gasly when I crossed that line at Brazil. Believe it or not, I don't even know. I don't know where to start. I really don't.
It's a Saturday.
That's as much as Swage is able to give you. That battle with yourself and Vapid, though, where it seemed to go on for an eternity, and that whole time, of course, you were battling with just your fuel mixes and your ERS to aid you, whilst you've got Vapid, and at one point, of course, you had Alpaca Carbon as well, hunting you down, both with DRS. How did you make that car so wide around this track in Interlagos?
I don't know. I felt okay out of the final corner into turn 4. I seemed to get a really good exit out of that final proper corner of the circuit and managed to get the gap back up to about 7 or 8 tenths and used half of the energy I had out of the corner and the rest of it as Vapid got a bit closer, and then whacked it into lean for the center S, and then short shifting through there up to 4th to get on the power earlier for the next DRS straight, and then whacked it back into lean again for sector 2. I was by no way the fastest driver this weekend. That has to go to Shane. I'm actually speechless. Like, I can't. I know the game shafted Constant Ryan, but unfortunately we can't do much about that.
Okay, I like a good shaft.
Oh, daddy. But I suppose it spiced the race up a bit, and I was a little bit worried because a few laps from the end, I don't know if Vapid had the same. I got the tyre warning light. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I got that.
Like, but man, I think I finished on 62% in the end. So I managed to keep the tyres in check and enough fuel to see me through for the rest of the race. And who knew that 20% ERS was enough at Brazil?
Well, now we know. So with that safety car restart, when the track obviously started drying up and it was time to move onto those slick tyres, was it always going to be the hard you were putting on?
Yeah, it was always going to be the hards. Took the bold call to stay out because I felt it was a bit too early, and then I don't know if Vapid got caught up in a bit of traffic or anything, but managed to jump him on the pit stops, which is odd because this game loves an undercut. So I managed to get the overcut on Vapid, and then yeah, it was side by side for the rest of the race essentially. It was brilliant. I don't know what it is about Brazil. It always produces good racing. So it's Brazil again next week, guys.
Yeah, change of plans. We're not going to Mexico. We're now racing Brazil for the rest of the season. Because if we have races like that again, I'm more than happy for us to do Interlagos every single week. Swayze, have you got anything for Jamie, our race winner, bud?
I don't have that much, to be honest, but that is because later on this week I will be taking some time to go and meet with Jamie in my around the paddock. So I'll be doing an in-depth interview with him. So rather than go into much with him now, I was going to save it for that. But a massive congratulations today, though. You drove absolutely sublime, mate. Your defending was on point, and I'm sure we'll go into that later on this week.
Thank you very much. I just want to point out that that track is so hard not to get any penalties, and I was extremely surprised when I finished the race, looked at my race director and had no warnings. So that was my main aim to go into the race, just not pick up penalties because you can get a lot of positions here. But before we wrap up, I just want to say that SC Cristo will be given a 1-minute penalty for overtaking under yellow flags on safety car restart.
Oh, that's how he did it.
That's how he did it. It is a 1-minute penalty for the Red Bull driver, which means I just want to give a massive shout out. Kira will finish P10 and her first point of the season.
Yes, Kira! Massive, massive congratulations to Kira. First point in SFR for her. Massive congratulations. Just going to comment on something we've just had in chat. The Noodle in the chat said he screamed so loud his mic noise gated. It caught me off guard that much. I spun. How loud did you
So,
shout, Jamie? How loud did
When
you
I say
shout?
full Pierre Gasly, I mean full Pierre Gasly.
Well, there we go. Kira gets points indeed,
Brilliant.
Noodle. Kira gets points. And I believe you teased it at the end of last week's stream, Jamie. I believe we've got an announcement.
Yeah, so it's early stages, but SFR is embarking with a partnership with the Invictus Racing League. So look forward to that. And no, it is not Formula One, guys. It is Assetto Corsa Competizione. All we know is it will be a Friday night, timings and that, and it will be timings will be announced in due course. Keep an eye on the Discord and of course our social medias. Races will be streamed. We're hoping from both ends, so Invictus and SFR. And to begin with, it will be GT3 only, but there is the possibility of GT4 later on once we get the numbers. So if you are interested, please don't hesitate to message myself, A Jackson, or TES Big Will from the SFR side, and we will get the IRL guys into our Discord, and there will be a section for GT racing only on our Discord in the coming days. Right, I'll hand back over to you, Kieran.
Thank you very much. You've heard it here first, ladies and gents. We did say in the interim stages for now, but ACC is coming to SFR. So stay tuned for that. But that is going to bring us to the end of our broadcast this evening. Massive, massive congratulations to our podium here in Interlagos. This was round 12 of Season 4 in SFR. Whew, Swayze, what a race, mate.
Yeah, mate. Well, after that announcement and after that race, I tell you, the only thing that can make these weekends more exciting now, I'm gonna have to start bringing my vibrator along. Cause I don't know what else to do.
Well, I have mine right here.
Orgasming at the races. I mean, you might as well do it with a vibrator and all, isn't it? Fuck.
Well, there we go. Next week
Damn.
we will be live from Mexico at the